If you're tired of not making progress and you're ready to be the artist you know you're meant to be, you're in the right place. You're listening to the Singer's Path podcast. The Path, or Performing Artists Training Hub, will cover everything, including singing tips that actually work, advice from top industry professionals, and life-changing mindset shifts. Out with the starving artist and in with the thriving artist. I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, professional singer, actor, educator, and entrepreneur. I'm not afraid to speak the truth and stop the gatekeeping of quality information so you can actually become the artist you dream of being. So let's get on the path, shall we? Even though we're all on our own journeys, it always helps to have a guide. Hello. No, I'm doing that again. Hello, and welcome back to the Singer's Path podcast. I'm not sure if I just had an unnecessary amount of coffee on an empty stomach, or if I just woke up a little manic today, but I had this whole plan of how I wanted my morning to go. I was like, okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go work out, then I'm going to go on a walk, and then I'm going to come and have my head cleared, and then I'll start to work on business stuff and all that. No, that's not what happened. I had one sip of coffee, and then my creative brain went, today, we're doing all of these things. And as I was journaling, it was like, boom, 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 boom. So that's where we're at. And I just listened back to that chunk that I just recorded, and I was like, yeah, you're talking so fast. So the caffeine definitely has to be part of this. So I'm going to try to slow down, take a deep breath, kind of get in the vibe and in the moment. But basically, yeah, I woke up and I was like, no, we're talking about this today. This is really important. It's something that will be able to be translated not just for artists, and it's also something that I've paid literally thousands of dollars to learn from business coaches and studying marketing and entrepreneurship. And it's a piece that's missing for so many creatives. And it's this necessary piece of learning to self-promote and to understand how to leverage social media to benefit you and to grow your audience. And how do we do that? Okay, this episode in particular is going to be about the strategy. So again, a lot of this is stuff that I was taught from top social media experts, business people, oh God, but very successful people that have used these strategies, and I've paid them to teach me, and then I've used them for myself. So we're going to do a strategy for this first one, and then the next episode is going to be all of the mindset around it. Oh my gosh, how do we get this done? How do we stay in it? How do we manage ourselves as we get triggered, or as we feel vulnerable, or as we feel resistant? What are all those things, and how do we help protect ourselves as we're continuing to put our stuff out there, we're continuing to self-promote, and we're continuing to learn how to be seen. Before I dive into all of this, I just want to, if my group coaching babies are listening, oh my God, I'm so sad that spring group coaching, spring, summer, I claimed both seasons because it kind of straddled between April to July, really. But I just want to say to those listening, I know some of you listen to the show, and I just want to say I appreciate you so much. And I'm so sad that our group coaching has ended for this trimester. And that I'm really proud of you guys. And it's just such a pleasure to witness your growth. I was thinking about my afternoon class all day yesterday. And then I've been thinking this morning about my evening class that just wrapped up last night. And guys, if you're oh, I don't want to do group coaching, I just want private lessons, what am I going to gain out of that? Do not knock it until you try it, okay? The cool thing about group coaching is that you get individual attention from me because I keep them so small. I think I'm going to cap them at 10 people, and they're 2 hours long. So everybody gets a pretty good chunk of time. And then you don't only get personalized feedback and exercises and drills on the material that you want to bring in, but you also, and this is the coolest thing, and this is what I'm so grateful, this is the whole reason why I did it, you see people start to build relationships with other people who are as passionate as they are about what they do, right? Other singers, other artists, and from all levels and all walks of life. Artists love other artists. Singers love other singers. It's fun to connect with people who just are interested in the same thing as you. And when you're in group, you get to see like, hey, maybe in private lessons, you're like struggling with something and you're like, oh God, like this is so frustrating that I can't figure this out. And is this only happening to me? And it can be really isolating, right? Whereas in group class, you get to see people who are maybe going through something that you've already overcome, or maybe are a couple steps ahead of you and are doing something that you have yet to run into, or maybe they're working through the exact same thing that you thought was only your problem, right? And with that, there's this like amazing sense of camaraderie and safety and trust and like almost like team building. Like as singers, like again, because it's so isolating, like we lack that validation from our peers, like most of the time. And I work really hard to make sure the environment in that class is all about safety and taking risks and being where you are and building people up. And that's exactly what happened this last trimester. And it happened the first trimester too, but I was still figuring out what exactly we were covering. So this trimester was about, hey, like you have to have the prerequisite of pillars to sign up. And the reason that is because I, in integrity as your teacher, need to make sure that you are still doing the drills and conditioning for balance outside of class. And so pillars is like this lifetime worth of pivoting back and forth and growing and strengthening your voice. And you need it as a tool so that you can come into class with a song, because we all know that when we're getting feedback, we want to work on songs. Like we want to sing material, right? So class is the space where you sing material and then you get one-on-one time with me to help you personalize all the drills and the homework and the exercise you're doing at home, right? So it's your space like, hey, maybe you have pillars right now and you've just had pillars, you've never done group class, and you're like, hey, like, oh, like most of this lesson works, but there's a couple like exercises that don't feel good, or like, ooh, I feel like I'm hitting a wall with the lesson. Like the lesson was working and now it's not. And I'm having a hard time pivoting to know which is the best lesson for me now, right? Because pillars is just like a whole catalog of lessons where I teach you to pick the one that will meet your needs best. But like sometimes when we're learning what those tools are and what our needs are, right, you're going to need someone to like weigh in on you, like a professional who can hear you and point you in the right direction. So group classes, that's why pillars is a prerequisite, because it's the perfect pairing with group. Because like, say you've been working through pillars, you need that personalized feedback. Get yourself in group classes for the fall. Like I am so serious. It is so special. I am obsessed with the students that I get to connect with. And this brings me back to like the original point that I was bringing up was like, if you're listening, I'm just so proud of you. I really hope to see you in the fall. Next level of stuff we're going to be covering. And if you're interested, if you're like, that sounds kind of cool, right? This is really for people who they get nervous when they sing in front of people. They need personal guidance, but they also want camaraderie. They want to enjoy singing again. They want both technical and performance, because the cool thing about working on songs with group classes is like we will also work on the storytelling aspect of it and the performance aspect. And for different genres, like how do we actually perform this song and make this engaging for an audience, even beyond technique? And more often than not, like I'll ask the student when they come into class, like it's pretty clear if they picked a hard song like My Days or something, then it's like, okay, we're working technique today because this is really hard. But sometimes they'll bring in a song they're a little more comfortable with, or even song they want both on. Like, hey, let's do some technical work, but then I also want storytelling help, or I'm going to be performing this at a gig and I want to make sure that I'm engaging with my audience. So it also addresses that, and you have a space to practice it in front of others while being absolutely pumped up and loved by other people who you admire, who are so talented, and who are trying to do the same thing as you. So if all of this sounds like it's up your alley, just know registration is not quite yet open for the fall. The people who are in the group class already will get priority as to whether they want to continue for the fall. So just know this is like this is a banging thing that we do. So a lot of them are probably going to re-sign up because I love it. They love it. But there will probably be maybe a few spots open. Again, I cap it really small, like 10 people so that everybody gets to sing. This is more of a passion project than a money-making project for me, right? I'm not interested in having it bubble over with hundreds of people in it. Like this is like, no, you get like semi-private lessons with me, right? So the people that are already in it will most likely sign up, but there'll probably be a few spots that open up. As the listener, if you're like, hey, get me in there, like I want to work with Sarah, I want to meet these people, they sound awesome, then keep your eyes out in August. Around August is probably when I'm going to start releasing the information around group. And hopefully I'll start talking about it on here, but I'll also be talking about it on socials. So you'll want to kind of keep your ears peeled for that so that you'll know how to sign up. And in the meantime, you should be able to sign up for the group class waitlist. If you go to the group class page, and maybe I can remember to link that below, you can register for that, and then you'll be the first to know. You just got to make sure that it's not going to junk. But if you're like really into this, you really want to do group classes, you already have pillars, and you're like, yep, I'm ready for the next step. I want to get in front of Sarah. I want to meet these people, blah, blah, blah. Join the wait list. Make sure it doesn't go to junk so you know about it. The other thing is if you're like, ooh, group classes sound really fun, but what about this prerequisite? What about this pillars thing? The answer is yes, you do have to have pillars to join. So if it's going to be a matter of like finances, like I would say like get pillars now, start working on it, watch the Discover class that comes with pillars, get familiar with it, start to build it up, and then you'll be ready for the group classes to start. Also know that, again, finances, I'm not trying to push people out. This is incredibly valuable. Both of these things are incredibly valuable. They're really, I swear to God, they're worth thousands and thousands of dollars. But again, I'm not trying to make this inaccessible for people. So what we'll do is I've switched over to Klarna and Afterpay. So you can basically create your own payment plan based off of your own needs. So like, sometimes they have payment plans that are like less than $30 a month. Like you can really tier it down so that it's manageable and doable for anybody. Okay. So I would maybe look into getting pillars now. And if it's a financial thing, get the payment plan so that it's manageable for you. And then when group class signups start as well, there will be a different payment plan option for that. And say you're just finding out about it and you're like, oh my God, it's August or it's September, like the spots are open. I'll probably also create some kind of like for new students, like a bundle, like you're getting both pillars and the class together, and then it can all be on the same payment plan or whatever. So that's basically how that's going to work. But I just wanted to kind of recap that and how beautiful this offer has become and how personalized it's become. And I just love my students, guys. Like I love connecting with you guys. You're awesome. And I want to talk about it in case that sounds like something that would benefit you, because if your ears are perked, dude, this is the sign it's for you, because it's literally so lit. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I said that, and thank you to all my lovely students. So let's actually get into the meat and potatoes after I like rambled on about how group classes work for 10 minutes. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of today's part one of this this two-part series, which is content creation and self-promotion and marketing for artists. So today we're going to talk about the literal strategy. Again, like I said earlier, this is what I've paid literally fucking tens of thousands of dollars, guys. Like I'm not even dead. Not even kidding. On how to do this. And that's, money aside, this also took me, like 3 years to learn. Y'all, if you go and scroll back, to like, you can even reference some of these with my own content. If you go back to like 2022, maybe, when I started, yikes, yo, like, ooh, you could tell I'm a little weird. I'm weird now, but like, I was not confident in it yet, and my energy was off. Like, it was like yucky. So there's like this really real poopy diaper phase of like getting used to be on camera, getting used to feeling safe to be seen, getting used to the vulnerability of really showing up as yourself. And you can actually watch as I go along. I stop like being so performative, and I just start being like, you know what, this is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And my content starts to be better and better received. You'll see, even if you look at last year, which was like 2024, that whole year, I was really committed to the consistency, and I got so good at it because I was practicing all the time. And that was the year where, God, I got millions and millions of views. I think one of my videos has like 5 million views or something. And then it all accumulates until election time and when the TikTok ban happened. And at that point, you'll see my content, it kind of gets a little fuzzy, and then I fall off for like a month or two. So I'm going to talk about that journey, if not in this episode, in the next episode. So we'll talk about like the vulnerability and the nervous system aspect of it and how to like get yourself back on the horse. But it's been a little bit humbling lately because I put in so much work last year and my content got so good and people loved it. And then basically like I got a little spooked and I got really tired and then I fell off and kind of sabotaged a little bit. And so from this point forward has been about like, how do I weave in my offers while also making my content creative and still fun and engaging and in a place of serving, which again has been like a new level of experimentation. So that's why it kind of like ebbs and flows a little bit. But in general, I just want to give you the goods and let you know what's up and how you can do this for yourself. So the first strategy point I want to point out is this little method that I started to get really good at if I really stripped it down and didn't take it personally and just did each of these steps. Like I just checked in with myself, are each of these things happening? And as I did that, it got easier and the consistency was easier and it just became more fun. So this is the first thing and the most important thing you need to keep in mind. I call it the DCCCC method, okay? Or D quadruple C. You know what? That is not a good title and I don't know how to fix it, but that's what we're going to stick with. DCCCC, 4 C's. Okay. That was better in my head, but here we are. This method, these steps, these 5 steps are going to help you keep yourself in the game. And in the next episode, we'll talk more of like the headspace because like if you're listening and you're like, I don't want to do that. Like I'm an artist. Like it shouldn't be my job to like promote and make content. Like I didn't sign up to be a content creator. Like all of these things, or you like look at other content creators and you go, they don't have any talent. Like why won't someone just pick me up? All right, we're going to address this more, but I need you to get the fuck over yourself. Okay. I know that's harsh. It's really harsh. That's like rude AF for me to say. But let's be so for real. No one is going to come and get you, baby girl. If you want the things that you want, if you want to be seen, if you want your art and your message and you to be visible, why not take the control here and use this social media strategy as a way to leverage yourself? Okay, let's get out of the victim thing. Okay, if you're struggling, if I triggered you and you want to turn it off, tune back in next week or when the next episode is. Listen to that one and then come back to this one. Okay. But like we're going to be so for real. I say it with love. Don't sabotage yourself because you're in resentment and you're in pain and you're in fear. Okay. That's a huge part of this. And so if you get triggered, let's just notice it and then let's keep going. Okay. You're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to get over this isn't my job. This shouldn't be this way. All of that pain and grief, super valid. And this is how it is. Okay, so the easier we make it for ourselves and the more fun we make it, then we can get over that and move forward. So once we get over it, take these next steps. Okay, this is the first step of the DCCCC method. All right. 1, detach. This is humongous. All right. We have to detach from videos doing well. The more you want the video to do well, the less well it will do. That is just like a rule of thumb. You have to separate yourself from the validation that you want from the video popping off. Oh, I put in so much work. I edited this so much. Like, I'm so excited to share this. That is fantastic. Hold on to the excitement and it's going to do how it do. You know what I mean? Like you do not have control over the algorithm. So as long as you're like, all right, I'm posting this out into the world, I'm detaching, I know that it's going to hit the right people that it's meant to hit. I am so excited and happy and grateful that I got to do this thing. Goodbye. Let's just see how it is. Okay. There's going to be other elements that ties into this, but this detachment is humongous. That's why the videos that you might have tried to edit and put a lot of perfectionism, right? Like the perfectionism is part of it. It's causing you to actually delay because you're a fear of being seen, because you're afraid of actually posting it. So you delay with perfectionism, and then you spend all this time and then you go, well, I guess it's officially ready. And then you post it and then nothing happens. It's because you weren't detached from the outcome and you're trying to make it perfect. You don't need to make it perfect. You just need to post it and then you need to let it go. Okay. So step 1, detachment. Step 2, curious. Your ass needs to be curious about this whole time. You have to look at posting like a big experiment. I wonder what's going to work. I wonder if I do this, is this going to be fun? I wonder if I phrase it this way, right? You can keep the same topic and post about it all week and do it in different curious ways. Like, I wonder if I do a slide here, or I wonder if I make a funny face, or I wonder if I, what if I try this music, right? You're just experimenting. And the more you experiment and then you notice, like, let's be curious about the result of this thing. Then because you're detached, you can look at the numbers and be like, it seems to be when I do a stupid sketch, that tends to do better. Okay, then do more of that. Right? As long as it's fun and fulfilling and creative to you, which is the next step, creativity, you'll be able to keep doing it, right? So again, detach, be curious. I wonder what works. Let's see. Let's try things. Let's throw spaghetti on the wall. The better you're going to be. The next C is creative, right? And this kind of goes with curious. I am curious about how creative and fun this can be. I wonder if I do this in this silly way, how much fun will I have, right? Because the more fun you have while getting your message or while getting your art across, while being silly or while being creatively stimulated with visual, like whatever your thing is, again, it's going to start to deprogram this idea of like, I mean, again, harsh words, but like this victim mentality of like, I don't want to do this resistance and this fear you have around doing it, because basically now you're looking at it as a creative project that inherently can have the potential for you to reclaim your creative power. That's humongous. We live in a world where I feel like everybody's fighting for attention and noise, and like our focus can be on like, oh, I need to make it. I need blah, blah, blah. And then we can like really spin out on ourselves, especially if you're a performing artist that auditions, like an actor or like a singer in the musical theater circuit. It can become so easy to get deflated by all of this, that this like content creation can be a humongous win, a humongous outlet for you to reclaim your creativity and have a place to put it where people are going to actually watch it for free. So the more that you can feel empowered by that, by reclaiming that creativity, again, the more fun it's going to be and the more you're going to want to do it. 4 is connection. Okay. This kind of brings me back to like, what is the whole reason why we need to post? Okay. If we look at social media in a healthy way, it's actually a way to get more people to connect with you, to see your art, to witness you, to engage in community with you, to be creative with you. Okay. So don't you want that? Like, don't you want connection? Why wouldn't you take this opportunity to use these free platforms to connect with your audience, right? Making content is actually a huge act of service. For me, it's a way to connect with singers all over the world and meet my greater purpose, which is to help people, right? If you look at it like as purely as it is, without all of these attached stories and fear around it and sadness and grief and anger around the whole idea of it, like it really just simply is a way to connect. It's kind of the same way people look at like dating apps, like Tinder, like, oh, I hate dating apps, like, ugh, bleh, bleh, I don't want to do it. Girl, it is just a way to connect with people. It is this day and age's way of connecting with a partner. And I'll tell you this, I used to hate dating apps. I got the F over it. Okay. And then I met my husband on Tinder. Okay. Because it simply is just a way of meeting someone. It is that it's a way to actually make it easier to meet people. So content is a way for you to easily connect with people. Now, kind of into the detachment part of this, right? I think sometimes we can get locked into the validation of like, oh my God, I put so much work into this and only got 300 views, like WTF. Let me tell you something. 300 views means 300 people. That's selling out a venue, like a smaller venue. Like, do you realize that? And if you do it consistently, which we're going to get into here in a second, if you were to post like every day and get 300 views a day, That's 109,000 people, I think. I don't have my calculator. Pretty sure it is. But if you post every day and that's the views you get, that's like selling out a stadium, dude. Like, do you realize that? Like, so the ability for you to connect with people is actually huge. And if you do the next step that I'm going to talk about in a second, this consistency, like you're going to start getting thousands of views a day, right? 15,000 views, 20,000, 100,000. Okay. Take it out of like, oh, this little number on the screen and like, I'm supposed to get millions and blah, 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 blah. Take that away and actually put faces to those views, right? Like, oh my God, I connected with 5 million people. Are you serious? I saw that many people. Okay. And I think that will help you. It doesn't matter if only 100 people see it. That's still 100 people. And if your goal is to connect with others and help others or share your art or whatever your message is, like value it for what it is. Now, I will say kind of with detachment, we need to also not take things personally and use it as validation in the way of like, I need everybody to like me. Okay. And I know that's like a double-edged sword and sounds kind of like hypocritical or like counterintuitive, but it is data at the end of the day. And when you start to pop off, and again, we'll talk about this next time, but when you start to pop off, the thing about being visible is it will attract people that are trolls and assholes. Okay. You will also attract people that you're meant to help, right? So if your focus is, I'm just supposed to connect with the people that this is meant to help, that needs to be a through line, even when you're popping off. Because if you're looking at these views and validation, not for the sake of like, oh, this is part of my mission, I'm connecting with 1,000 people, how wonderful. If it turns into, oh, I had 1,000 people and like, oh my God, like these negative comments, like they're driving me crazy. But like, I also want to see these positive comments. They're like really validating. You have to kind of treat it as neutral data, the positive comments and the negative comments. Because if you just try to treat the negative comments as neutral and then you're still like getting a dopamine hit from the positive comments, because like, I mean, who wouldn't, honestly? But you got to treat all of it like it's just data. It's not personal and it's all neutral. Okay. It's just part of your overall general connection strategy. Okay. That will really help you uphold boundaries for your mental health. It's really difficult, but it's a way that you can help protect your energy and your mind and like your mental health. Okay. The final actionable strategy here is consistency. Now with consistency, you don't have to post 8 times a day. Okay. You need to post as many times as you will be consistent. So if that's 1 time a day, even if you're just starting off, if that's 3 times a week, okay, do it consistently. Do it that way over and over and over again for at least like 3 or 4 months, okay? Because the algorithm learns based off of consistency. You are teaching an algorithm that you're serious, okay? But you need to like not bite off more than you can chew. If you start off with like 3 posts a day and you can't keep that up, you're actually going to end up sabotaging, falling off, and then you're going to like be back to where you started. So I would start with a smaller number. And then as you get better at it and you start to feel better at it and safer and like, oh, this is starting to become fun because I've incorporated all these other steps, then you can amp it up to 1 time a day, which is actually, if I'm so for real, that was the strategy that I used last year and that worked. Sometimes now I'm trying to like get back into the 1 time a day thing and have it feel good. And I would hopefully like to get to 2 to 3 times a day. But again, that's a lot of work. So it's like, the more overflow and connection and fun you have, like nurturing that is actually going to start to give you a ton of ideas that then you're going to feel like, you know, a waterfall of ideas here. So it's like start smaller as long as it's consistent, build out, keep it consistent. And then you can start adding like as you get better at it. You know what I mean? But you have to do it over and over the same way so you could teach the app that you're for real. But really, that's it. Those are the 5 steps. Detachment, curiosity, and experimentation, right? Creative and fun. Connection, and that can tie into your greater purpose. And then consistency. And I can guarantee you, if you do this, not only will posting become fun and better, but you will pop off at some part. It's inevitable. It's inevitable because it's an algorithm. It's a formula. And when you align with the algorithm and your energy goes into more of a fun, creative, magnetic, playful space where you really believe in what you're saying because you've practiced it and you've practiced showing up in a more fun and creative way, the better. It will pop off. It absolutely will. Like I've gone viral like a bunch of times now. And we'll talk about how that can affect your body and your head here in the next episode. But like at this point, it's like, oh, great, I'm going viral. Cool. Okay, it does. The first time, it's insane. And again, we'll talk about it in the next episode. But like once you do it for the first time, I think some people probably get addicted to it. And you're like, how am I going to go viral again? And the best way to go viral again is to see what works. Okay, I will say triggering content. It could be triggering in a good way or a bad way. Being outspoken, saying it like it's real. If it's going to piss some people off, but it's in your truth, that will always pop off, like always. Now, it might be a lot on you, but like if you're really trying to do something, like saying something like kind of borderline controversial will always, without a doubt, have it pop off. And that's pretty much most of mine that have popped off have done that. Or something like really relatable. Like everybody can be like, oh yeah, that's me, right? That's why I like, as a business owner and someone that uses social media to get my message across and for marketing, really, because it's free marketing. And it doesn't matter if you have a business or you're a creative or you're an artist, like just trying to write your song, get your song out. Like the other thing to keep in mind, like shorter videos tend to do well, right? Using trending sounds tend to do well. Doing trending like challenges do well. But here's the thing, like when you make content, like again, my purpose to it, and like, this is why you need to get clear on your purpose. My purpose is to like ethically educate and give you like good stuff. So I've also had to take a back seat and be like, okay, I care as a teacher to maybe make some longer videos that I know aren't going to get pushed out as much from the algorithm, but because I've nurtured this audience of like 50K people or whatever number I am at this time that you're listening to me, but I care about having quality audience over like, oh, I like reacted to a dog singing and then I got 1 million people, but then it's not like quality followers, So like, I also like to stay consistent in my messaging, and that kind of comes with the sacrifices of like, okay, I'm not always going to make a 1-minute video that I know will go viral, because ethically too, I think we run into a little bit of an issue as a teacher of singing specifically, because then it's like you're using it as marketing and you're not being transparent that that's actually not realistic, right? So like this one trick will help you mix belt and finally fix all your problems. That is appealing to people's egos and for their desire for everything to be easy for them, right? But that's not actually how singing works. So if you see people do that, just know like that is for sure like kind of a clickbait marketing thing. Like I've done it before too. It's like, okay, we need to boost engagement. But that's why like the body of my content is so important to me, that like I'm also providing other things that are of worth and they're honest, right, about the realities of things. And they're just not going to pop off as much because they're not as appealing. They're not as sexy. People don't want to know that it takes years. They don't want to know that. They don't want to follow someone that's telling them it's hard, right? But that's what I mean. So it's like sometimes if you see teachers do that, that is definitely more of a marketing scheme. And sure, it might be a good tip, but like just like take that with a grain of salt, okay? Okay, we're going to briefly return to that, like, let's get over it thing that I kind of talked about. Like, if I'm telling you all of this and it's triggering you, like, that's actually a good sign that's going to point you in the direction of something. And I'm going to use my associate teacher, Lily, as an example here because she's baller and y'all should sign up with her because I believe in her. And I love Jeremy too. So both of my associate teachers, I'm like so obsessed with. And if you want private one-on-one attention, like they're the people you go to. Like they're so affordable. They're constantly working. Like Lily's developing an album right now. Jeremy's been music directing for upcoming shows. Like he's very busy and doing things all the time. So I would book with them because their availability sometimes is limited because of how much work they do outside of teaching. But they're baller. And I'm going to share a little bit of a story about Lily to kind of get into the importance of content creation and why we kind of need to get over ourselves. So whether, again, you're like promoting your own music or you're just trying to be visible as a teacher, or you have a business or you're just whatever, like you have art, like physical art that you make. Okay. the importance of posting content beyond the connection, the creativity, being seen, all of those things, is that it also helps people get to know you and trust you. Okay? You have to give yourself a facility to really embody who you are and your authenticity, because that's going to cut through any competition or any visibility battles that you're going through, because you're giving yourself an opportunity to really, for people to really get to know you. And I remember when Lily started teaching at my studio, I was bringing on more teachers because I was transitioning away from privates and making other things to reach broader audiences and all that stuff. And I remember and again, I'll scream out the top of the rooftops for you guys to go take lessons with them. But as a consumer, think about it. You're not gonna give someone money that you don't know or trust or have never heard of before, right? There's two ways that people will buy something and invest their hard-earned money. And it's if they've seen them before and they trust them, or it's recommended to them. Okay. And that's the thing. I was telling Lily she wanted more students. And I was like, well, I'm going to promote you. I'm going to recommend you. I'm going to tell people about you. But the more that you can be visible on your own platform, right? I mean, the exchange that we have is part of my job is to help market her and promote her and put her on the map, to help lift her up. It's leveraging my audience to help her be seen. I can do that. But the more people have a direct, they're going to be I can say, hey, go follow Lily and check out what she's about. Right? There's a podcast episode with Lily, or she's constantly posting about her music. The more people will trust her, because they have something to see about her, right? They can hear her music. They can see how she talks about teaching, how she talks about embodying the thing that they want. So it doesn't matter what you do. People like to connect and know who you are and start to trust you, because, money's hard. At this point, with the recession and everything going on, you want to make sure your money is going somewhere that it'll actually work, or that you will feel safe. And so if you are becoming visible, right, and your message is coming across, people will be able to do their own research and decide whether you're the right person for them, the right artist for them, the right teacher for them. And that's what I'm saying is instead of being I don't want to do that, it's why? Don't you want to help these people? And then it might become about oh, you have to look at that vulnerability and that fear and that deservingness that's inside of you if you're trying to play small and you really don't want to do it, right? And again, we'll talk about it in the next episode. But with Lily, I was hey, dude, I'm going to do my part and push you guys in between offers that I'm really pushing. We'll push you, right? We're going to highlight you. We're going to get people to sign up with you. We're going to have podcast episodes with you. You're on the website, all of this stuff. And the more you're visible on your own socials, you then start to become not independent from me, but but yeah, kind of I want you to have your own thing and build your own thing if that's what you want. And the more that you can be visible in authenticity and experiment, because again, like I said, when I started, we kind of suck at it at first, but then you get better, you start to figure it out. The more people are going to really like you, and they're going to be dying to pay you for lessons and listen to your music. This is how you grow your audience. So she was okay. And she started to post, and it's awkward for everyone at first, but now she's gotten really good at it. And she's funny and she's cool. Right. And so you get to see that. And those are all qualities that I knew about her at first, right? When I was working with her, and I knew her earlier on, but it's it's really cool to see someone step into that and be visible. And also helps you guys. It's oh, I want a teacher. I want someone cool. And I want someone, and it's all laid out. It's all laid out for you. So it can be an easier decision for you, right? It's an F yes. Hell yeah, I want to work with Lily because she's exactly what I'm looking for, because she showed us. Okay. Ultimately, it's your responsibility to embody and show people how awesome you are. Okay. No one else's responsibility. No one's going to hand that to you. You have to show up. And the more you show up, the better your case is, and the more people trust you. Okay? All right. The last practical strategy I want to share here in this part 1 is the realities of like when you do pop off and when you do have X amount of followers and you're into the content creation rewards program, the creator rewards program or whatever, like the realities of how much you get paid for views. Okay. Cause I know I've like seen a lot of people on here and they're like, oh, well, if I was blowing up, then I would make like so much money. And here's the thing. Okay. I personally, as a business owner, like, again, I don't focus on trying to get as many views as possible, like I said, even though it happens. But my mission is more important than like, this has to get 5 million views, because I ethically want to make sure that most of my content, like I said, is actually of education, and that it's attracting the right followers, not just any follower. But I'm going to be so for real about like the money that I'm making, as far as like compared to like how you can drive people to other offers versus like, oh, the monies I'm making from the video itself. The money. Did I say the monies? The money I'm making from the video itself or the views of the followers. First is like brand deals. Like I personally haven't taken a lot of brand deals. Like I had like an affiliate link for the singing straw, which I actually still do. I think it's Sarah Bishop 10 if you want the singing straw. I do love the singing straw. I also think I have one for the vocal mist as well. But guys, I don't make a lot of money from that. I only want to take on affiliates of products that I really care about and that I like. Right? Like, why would I promote if I'm trying to be ethical here and give you good stuff? Why would I promote the duet dating app? I don't want to do that. Okay. But I feel like some creators have done like branding deals, marketing deals, because they offer the money and then they'll do it and they're an influencer or whatever. The more followers you have, the more you can leverage for those deals. But like, it's not really worth it to me. Sometimes like, I don't really like the percentage code so much, which some affiliate deals will be like, oh, you get a cut of the sale and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. But some companies will just give you like cash, like per post, like you get $500 per post or whatever. And based on how much engagement you get, like they might ask you back or whatever. Like if you see someone doing that, especially if they don't have like products listed that they create and sell, like that's actually mostly how they're going to make their money, by the way. So if you're like curious about how content creation can actually make you money, usually it's from brand deals. You can start getting money from viral videos. However, it gets adjusted, like the percent, like the money you get per 1,000 views gets adjusted based on how many followers you have and the consistency of how viral you go. So the more viral you go, you actually start to make less money per view because they're like, oh, they're popping off. Like, we're not going to keep paying them this much. Okay. But the first couple times you go super viral, if that ratio is lower because you didn't have that many followers and all of a sudden you had one pop off, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but most of the time it's like a couple cents per 1,000 views. Like, it's not good. Okay. But if you have something pop up to like 8 million or something, then there's also a catch to this too. Cause there is the possibility for you to get a large chunk of money PayPal to you, but you have to be in the creator rewards program first. So you already have to have, I think it's 10K followers. You have to have that first. And if that gets offered to you right away, take it. Okay, make sure you're registered. Because if you don't take it right away and then you have something pop off, sorry, you don't get any money. The second thing is it has to be over a minute. And this sucks. I didn't see a damn cent from that 5 million view. Any of like really most of my viral videos, I didn't see shit money from because it was under a minute or I wasn't in the creative program yet. Okay. So there's some pretty gnarly little catches to all of this. Instagram and Facebook, I don't think pay well at all either. Like, I don't even know if I'm registered for Instagram at all. TikTok is really mostly what I'm talking about. But like, that's what I mean. Like, don't just look at influencers and be like, oh my God, they're making so much money. Like, no, they're probably not. So then this leads me to how do I make money? And this is why I care about having a quality audience beyond just like making sure that I'm helping the right people, is also like my business primarily operates on product sales. So like pillars, advanced mix, group classes, that kind of stuff, pitch and musician, right? So it's important, like if you actually want to make money, say you're a business owner, that you have a good, what's called a conversion rate. So it's like, okay, like cool that you have all of this, you have these followers, but if they're not like buying anything or they don't trust you to buy or you don't even have any offers to sell, then again, you're not going to make any money. You just like, what is that? You know what I mean? You just have 1 million people that follow you. Like, okay, that actually doesn't produce any money. You have to make something that people want, right? Or you have to get them, another important thing is that you have to get them to convert at least to an email list. Because the other thing people don't tell you is just because you have followers doesn't mean that you own those contacts. Like TikTok and Instagram own them. And at any point, your TikTok could be like banned, right? Like you could, like things happen to people all the time where it gets locked. And then they lose all of their followers and all of the things that it's too fragile, right? So the best thing you can do is create free things that are outside of the app and drive people for them to give you their email, because you will own that. So if someone consents to being like, I want to be part of your community, here's my email, then you do own those contacts, and you can continue to serve that group of people outside of these apps that you don't have control over. Okay. So those are some other like really high value, like really, really, really important things to keep in mind if you want to monetize off of the content that you're creating. I'll have to have some of my other buddies who are influencers talk about how they make money with brand deals and or if they have music and how that converts. But I also will say, like, if you're a music person and you're like trying to promote your album, just know that as unfair as it is, the biggest thing that these labels are going to talk to you about is your following and how much you're posting and all of that. Like, that's really important to them now. Okay. And as unfair as it is, like, I shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, whatever the story is, it doesn't matter. They need you to connect with the audience, and they need you to be posting, and they need you to have an audience. Okay. So instead of whining about it, get started. This episode has everything you need to get started. Okay. Have fun. Look at this as a creative project. Make things that you can actually make money from and talk about them. And especially like my products and stuff, like I make them because I want to help people, right? So it's not even so much about making money. Like, of course, like I pay my bills and this is a business, right? Like I'm trying to live here. But at the end of the day, it still comes from a place of service. I made these in integrity, being like, this will work. This will help you. This is what I needed, yo. So the more that you like have things that you can sell, you have a message, you're being creative, you're having fun, you're listening to DCCC, see how many C's there are. You're going to be in it, and it's going to start to feel better. I promise. I know the resistance is so real and it's not fair, but the more we can get over this and just get to work, the better. If you dug what we talked about today, just thousands of dollars worth of information, which is actually insane. If you really liked this, again, don't forget to leave a 5-star written review. The more you write a written review, the more people find out about it. And then we're like revolutionizing this shit, right? Like people are learning and connecting and hopefully growing and healing and all of this stuff. They're getting good information. So write that 5-star review. And if you do, make sure you send a screenshot of it to the email singerspath@gmail.com. And that way I can enter you to win a lesson. But if I don't know who left the review, I can't enter you to win a free lesson with me. Okay. So you do have to email me with the screenshot that's your handle. I don't think in Spotify you can do written reviews. So you can just, if you rate it there, just again, send me the screenshot that you did it. But the podcast written reviews on Apple Podcasts is like 10 out of 10, really recommended. Okay. Yeah. The other thing I want to say is if you really liked this vibe, like this kind of coaching, like this practical strategy stuff, I'm going to let you know there's something very, very special in the works here. I am so freaking pumped and thrilled about it. It's going to be huge, guys. And it's going to be a container for artists where we don't just talk about the practical strategy, but we also give you the inner support. And that's a huge thing that I think is missing for artists. How do we take care of ourselves, like mentally, emotionally, our nervous system, while we're pursuing our dream? How do we stay in it the long run? And how do we get practical strategy and answers to things that really get hard to find answers for unless you're just like doing the school of hard knocks and figuring it out? So just know that that's on the horizon. You're going to want to keep listening. You're going to want to be the first person to know about this new thing. So keep that on your radar. I'm just dripping and teasing it out for right now. And it's in development. You will hear about it soon. And the final reminder is if you want group classes, join the group class waitlist. And those should be opening up. Registration should be opening up like end of August time-ish. So yeah, thanks for listening today and stay tuned for part 2. I'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. This helps me get this information out to more artists all over the world. Let's work together to spread the joys of music. Until next time, I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, signing off from the Singer's Path podcast. Thanks for listening.